Hello, welcome back to the Board Games 4K YouTube channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, and we generally talk a lot of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And in this video we're going to be talking about a reimagining of an old filler classic by Rudiger Dawn. We're going to be talking about Las Vegas Royale, and in this game what you'll be doing, you'll be visiting various casinos, rolling dice, hoping to get the majority on each casino, but at the same time visiting casinos that have got these new bonus tiles on there to try and augment your rewards. So in this video we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules of this one. We're going to be telling you what we do like, what we don't like, and then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Las Vegas Royale is worth playing today, and if it's better than the original iteration of Las Vegas from a few years ago. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing to our channel, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you after this. Board Games 4K. So Las Vegas Royale. How'd you play this game? So what we're going to do here first, we're going to tell you how to play the basic game of Las Vegas, which is roughly the same as the old version of Las Vegas. And then we're going to tell you what new stuff this version of Las Vegas brings to the table. So what you do in Las Vegas, the addition of a nice dice tray on this one, so that stops you from rolling stuff off the table and what have you. So you put the dice tray on the table, and around the dice tray you will place 6 casinos. And in the old version this was just 6 tiles, but these slot neatly around the dice tray in the centre of the table, right? So every person who's playing this game will get 8 dice. One of them is a larger die, and that counts as 2 smaller dice, right? So in addition to that, in casinos 1 to 3, you'll choose 3 of the available bonus tiles. They're both double-sided, so there's 16 different tiles you can choose, and you'll put them next to casinos 1, 2 and 3. And on these tiles they give you a sort of mini game, mostly mini games to play if you place dice on those casinos. So what you do, you start the game by placing a certain amount of money out onto each casino, and you deal 6 slots of 2 cards, and then you add up how much cash is in each pile. The pile with the most money on casino number 6, and the pile with the least amount of money on casino number 1. So what you're going to do, you're going to roll all your dice in the dice tray when it's your turn, and you're going to choose one number and take all the dice of that number and dump them on a casino which corresponds to that number. So you'll go round and round and round and round and round, and then when it comes to the end of the round, once everyone's used up all their dice, whoever's got the most dice of that number on a casino will take the highest value cash card, right? But if there's a tie, then it's both, they cancel each other out if there's a tie. So then you move to the next majority, and then they take the cash. So you keep going until all the casinos have been depleted of money, and you play 3 rounds in this game, whereas in the old game you had 4 rounds, and then whoever's got the most cash in this game will win Las Vegas Royale. So we'll just talk briefly about the bonus tiles. So we remember we said you place 1 tile on number 1, 1 tile on number 2, 1 tile on number 3. And if you place dice on these casinos, you will get to have a go at some of the mini games. And these really do add a lot to the game. So an example of some of the mini games that you can play. So you might get to play knockout, and if you put a die on that tile, then each opponent must place 1 of their remaining dice on this tile, and that means they're inactive for the rest of the round. But in exchange, you get back all your dice that are currently on the bar. So that's a way of sort of neutering the effectiveness of other players. So you might have the luxury of going to the payday tile. So in this case, what you do is you count the casinos, and then you count the casinos that contain at least 1 die or colour, and this includes any activated casino. So what you'll do, you'll multiply the number of casinos by 10,000. If the result is 10 or 20,000, you receive 1 or 2 chips, and chips are a way of sort of passing on your go. So if you think, well, I don't really want to do anything this round, you can use 1 of your chips to sort of pass that round and come back in on the next round. But back to this one, if you, for $30,000 to $60,000, you take that much money for the back. So a lot of these casinos are very, very simple, and they do add quite a bit to the game. So but we'll talk about that in a bit. So that's roughly how you play Las Vegas Royale. So what do we like about Las Vegas Royale? So the first thing that we really like about this is that it keeps the original game roughly intact. You know, the basic game is exactly the same as the original Las Vegas, and it also takes the best bits out of the Boulevard expansion and throws them in here for nothing, right? So not only do you get a non-butchered version of the original Las Vegas, you also get the benefit of the best bits Las Vegas Boulevard expansion, plus you get the added benefit of the dice tray. You get a nice, more streamlined way of dealing with money, and then you also get those wonderful bonus tiles that add so much to the game. Again, we'll talk about that in a bit. So, like we said, the dice tray is a wonderful addition to this, and I think back to the multiple millions of times we played the original version, and the amount of times that you roll on the dice, and where you're rolling 8 dice, they would always fly off the table. They would go under the table. They end up in somebody's nose or wherever they want to go. So the dice tray is a wonderful addition to this. It provides a central focus on in the centre of the table, whereas the old version was just these tiles and it looked a bit bland and it looked a bit higgledy-piggledy. But this one, it gives you a central focus to play the game, right? So the bonus tiles, this is probably the biggest thing about this game, the biggest addition that differentiates it from the old version Las Vegas, and it really does ramp up the excitement of the game. It ramps up the options that you got and the more random nature of the sort of casino vibe here, and it also makes the game even more replayable than it already was. So like we said, you got 8 tiles, both double-sided. You're choosing different ones each round, so it really does add to the replayability, excitement of the game without adding too much complexity. So what don't we like about Las Vegas Royale? So the first thing that we find frustrating with this is that it's a bit of a pain in the bum to keep referring back to this rulebook every time, every round. So because you've got three of these different bonus tiles that come out each round, you've got to refer back to that multiple times because some of these rules are quite fiddly. So you're going to be referring back to that, saying, well, in the first round, be like, oh, but it does this, does this. And then because you'll reset the tiles in the next round, you have to refer back to it again and again. It's going to take multiple plays to sort of cement these tiles into your head. And then if this stays on the shelf for more than a month or so, you're going to have to, when you bring it out again, you're going to have to go back and relearn all of these 16 different things. So it's a bit tedious, but I think it's probably worth it in the long run because it really does add so much to the game, right? So some of these mini games aren't that great. They're a bit naff, right? So things like we said about the knockout, that could be really punishing. And some of the ones like the black box one, it's just a case of like choosing. Some of the black tiles are stuffed on the board with some sort of caveat, and that's a little bit naff. And some of them, the rewards aren't great, and the way that you get the rewards are a little bit weird, right? So not all of them, only a couple of them, and obviously it's not a major con, is it? But because there's a couple of naff ones in there, when you draw them out, you're like, not that one again. But more often than not, there's going to be a really good bonus tile in play. Not much bad to say about this game, so we're going to sort of give you a summary and tell you if Las Vegas Royale is worth playing today, and if it's better than playing Las Vegas with the Boulevard expansion or not, right? So we're going to say, if you like Las Vegas, if you played Las Vegas to death, then get rid of that, sell it, flog it on eBay, do what you got to do to get rid of it, give it a charity, and get this. This game is phenomenal. It really is phenomenal. We're massive fans of Las Vegas. We played this a gazillion times. We played this 100 billion times. But this really does move it from filler into a main game, and a lot of that's to do with the dice tray, that it gives it a central focus. That's just aesthetically, right? But also the fact you've got the bonus tiles, and now you've got that nice rule with the money where the number 6 casino is always going to be the most valuable. That really does elevate this game up to a sort of maybe not like a Wallenstein sort of game or Terra Mystica sort of game, but it really does make it that little bit more solid in terms of not being just a filler game that you're going to pull out just for a bit of a giggle. So you've got to remember that you've got the best bits of Las Vegas Boulevard in there, so there's really no need to keep hold of that if you've got that already. And if you haven't got it because it's out of print, then this does allow you to get hold of those wonderful items and wonderful additions that were in Las Vegas Boulevard that you couldn't get hold of. So we're going to give this 5 stars. If we could give it 10 stars, we would. Well, we're going to give it 10 stars. This is without doubt probably one of the best reimaginings of any game we've ever played. And we like Las Vegas in the first place. We thought it was one of the best games we've ever played. But this, Rudiger Dawn, you're a genius, mate. You have taken a 5-star game and made it better I mean, that's unbelievable. So if you haven't got Las Vegas Royale, you really do need to get hold of it. It's not that expensive. I think we paid about 30 quid for it. You know, we got rid of our old one, so that basically paid for the new version of this, and we love it. And you'll love it as well. If you love Las Vegas, you need to get that, and that is Las Vegas Royale. So remember, if you are new here and you want to see more of this stuff, then please consider subscribing to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Tell us what you think about Las Vegas. And if you've got Las Vegas Royale, tell us what you think about that. Are we right? Are we wrong? Are we talking out of our bum bum? So we'll see you next time.